This is a DFTG special report. I warn you that what you're about to see and hear is highly spoiler. Please do not continue with this video or audio unless you have already watched the recent episode of The Mandalorian. I now turn it over to our on-the-beat reporter, Toy Story.
Thank you, TC. And I'm loving the new mustache.
Trying something new out.
Of course, I love it. All right, guys.
So there's an episode that just came out today, huh?
Yeah, seriously.
We didn't even get to watch it yet. So we're doing this without him just because we don't want to miss the wave that's going on right now. You'll notice I had to do some situation with my window back there. I have some black bag coverings as well. So why don't you kick it off?
Let's do it. So this was, we didn't even plan to do this, but we felt like we had to. So this is your second official spoiler warning. Turn this off right now if you don't want to hear what's going on. But
definitely don't watch it if you haven't watched any of it.
Definitely do not. So this episode, we got...
What was the name of this one?
I should know that. I'll look it up.
You son of a corkscrew.
It is The Rescue.
The Rescue.
So obviously, I think we all knew that Mando and team were going to go after Moff Gideon and try and get Grogu back.
Yeah.
Which happened, amongst other things, but we'll get there. So first of all, I wanted to talk about the Death Troopers. Was it called?
Yeah. So before you get into that, so this was directed by Peyton Reed.
Yes, it was.
We
didn't know that
by him.
Yeah, he did an episode earlier in this season.
Oh,
I think it was one of the Prop Lady episodes, actually.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. Yeah, so they find Moff Gideon's Star Cruiser, and they get on, and they have this whole plan to get the child back. And I mean, that whole sequence was awesome, just them getting to him. But the Death Troopers were so cool. They're droids, essentially. They're like a better droid army than what you had in the prequels.
I mean, so when I saw them, it reminded me, and I don't know if you've ever watched these, but the original Cylons. No. Have you ever seen like the old school Battlestar Galactica? The Cylons were these silver guys with these red eyes, and they looked a lot like that, just they were black instead. So they were really cool looking. I mean, obviously 1,000 times more advanced and upgraded looking, but yeah, those were super cool.
Oh my god, the fight he had with Mando in the hallway was amazing, I thought.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny with stuff like this, it's like it's almost too foreshadowing. Like there's a scene where he comes out of the spaceship, so you know he joins up with Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
I'm just kidding. Bo-Katan.
Oh, your face is so serious.
Yeah, but he teams up with her. Kind of Boba Fett like helps him get there, and so they kind of create a diversion while Mando gets off the ship, and he's holding like the Beskar sphere. I was like, all right, so he's gonna throw down obviously with Moff Gideon and the Darksaber.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cool.
Oh my god, that was amazing. So they throw down. Mando knocks the thing out of his hand, and he captures Moff Gideon, leads him up to the bridge, and this is where things get crazy. So I don't even know where to begin. What do you think?
I mean, let's jump in. So all in all, guys, this was a fantastic episode. You know, like aside from the craziness that happened in this, you know, it would just have been another great episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, probably just as good as the one before it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that, and we just have to say it. So he defeats Moff Gideon. He brings him to the bridge. So they think they ejected all the Dark Troopers, right?
Yeah, Dark Troopers, I think.
Dark Troopers or Death Troopers?
Or Death. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah. One of them. It's one of them. We'll correct it down here.
Yeah.
And so they make their way back to the ship. They think they eject them. And as they've got Moff Gideon, they've killed all the stormtroopers. All of a sudden, these things start converging. And how many of them are there? There seems like there's like 30 to 50.
I know. You saw them all flying in underneath?
Yeah, it was crazy. So, you know, they're prepared for this fight. And literally, it took Mando like a decent amount of time to try and take down the one on his own with the Beskar. And it was just like, well, something's going to happen. And at that point, I'm like, so who's coming to save them? I was almost certain it was a Jedi.
Yeah.
And
we were speculating about who it was going to be for a while. A lot of people thought like Ezra or something.
Yeah. And also, you know, we knew a Jedi was going to come. Like they weren't going to have that reach out part and we've said, and honestly, you're going to see our episode on Monday and we're not even going to be up to this. So this is going to supersede whatever we said in that one. And so we think it's somebody who's like, it could be anyone, but now we know. As soon as I see that X-Wing, and Cara Dune's like, oh, what X-Wing? I was like, oh, I got it. I was like, that's not just any X-Wing. That's Red 5. And, I mean, before you even see his face, I mean, everything.
The whole buildup of him getting from
everything indicates that it's him.
Watching it on the security camera was so cool.
Yeah. As soon as I saw the green lights, because before that, I was like,
oh, okay, I guess that could be anyone. But then it was green. I was like, oh.
And then I saw that, I was like, so let's talk about it. We get Luke Skywalker, guys. Yeah. Huge spoiler alert. Tell us, like, basically what is it? Is it CGI?
I looked up a little bit. It's an actor. I don't know who. I don't remember his name, but so it's got to be some sort of CGI like facial technology, and whatever it is so much better, I think, than whatever was in Rogue One with Grandma.
It's the best thing I've seen so far. I haven't seen
almost flawless.
Yeah,
and
you saw the that Irishman movie.
Yes.
Do you think it was something akin to that?
It could have been, yeah. I think because they had a lot of new technology for that movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if they, this technology, this deep faking, for lack of a better word, is developing so quickly. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that it's better now.
With like every day on Instagram, I see like 20 videos of people doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost on the level that they were at Rogue One. I mean, I can imagine the professional studios use.
I'm not surprised that it's better quality than Rogue One, even though it's only like 3 years later.
But, I mean, it's definitely voiced by him too. It's
definitely
his name was in the credits. So I mean, it was awesome to see him again.
That was, I think, what everybody was expecting to get out of, or hoping to get out of the sequel trilogy in Luke. Obviously he's younger here, but that was like the reintroduction of him that everybody was hoping for.
Yeah, the thing that stinks is I love the original trilogies, but the great thing that you saw about the prequels was how awesome a Jedi could be.
Yeah.
Like, Jedis have like these like almost superhuman abilities, and you never really got that with the original trilogy. Vader moved things with his mind, and I think Luke did a backflip once in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool. And like that was the extent of like what they were able to do. But the prequels showed that like, wow, these guys are like way
they
more
knew how to fight. They weren't just
knights. These are like they're on a whole nother level. They're like futuristic superheroes pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was cool that he finally got his like just due. So now here's my issue, right? So they did this, right? And everyone's been speculating, even, Mark Hamill's talking about Sebastian Stan. I was a little disappointed it wasn't Sebastian Stan. And not because I didn't like the CGI or I didn't want it to be Mark Hamill. My issue is that, well, I obviously want more now.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are they going to do? Like, I don't think they'd spend the money, because I'm sure like that was like maybe 3 minutes that you actually saw him, 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I looked up the guy who, I'll find his name later, but I looked up the guy who played him, and he actually does look kind of like him. So I think it was minor facial manipulation. I don't know how complicated that is nowadays. That's the thing. Yeah. Can they do that easily? I don't know.
I wouldn't want to see a full series like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I want a Luke Skywalker series now.
Yeah,
as a kid, Luke Skywalker was my favorite character.
But
I mean, he was the one that got me into, the whole lightsaber thing. Yeah. That's what got me into, Star Wars.
But with this, even knowing it's not Mark Hamill, it's someone else, it's a fake face, and it's Mark Hamill's voice, I felt like still it was him,
Oh yeah, 100%.
Totally, completely believable.
But that's the only thing about why I was like, I really wish it would kind of with Sebastian Stan, because I want them to go forward. I mean, like they could still do that too. They could have
totally
scene, and they can still go out and have Sebastian Stan do his own thing, and I think that'll be fine. You won't get any complaints from me about it,
no.
But I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, I don't think it gets any bigger than that.
Grogu goes with him. They did that entire like 10-minute sequence. Or however long it was, the build up, seeing him walk out with the hood, and then seeing the lightsaber, and then seeing him, just annihilate all those dark troopers. First of all, shows, it, like you said, it lives up to the prequels' ideas of how powerful a Jedi is.
100%.
And number two, just like at that point when you see the green lightsaber, it's him, and now you're just like seeing it and waiting to see him up there.
And and on top of that, you're seeing like the black-handed glove.
Yeah, the glove. Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I mean, if this isn't Luke, I was like, this is like a serious copycat. Yeah. But so Grogu goes with him though. So what do you think this means for the future of Mandalorian?
I mean, there's definitely season 3 of Mandalorian, but I don't think we've seen the last of Grogu. Definitely not.
I mean, I hope not. And he makes it seem like you don't either. I just don't think we're going to get as much.
Maybe.
So I think.
I mean, I originally thought the show doesn't work without Grogu, but I think like the last episode showed us that it can.
No, it certainly can. It's almost that you don't want it to, and it's a credit to them too. They built such a strong bond between these two characters that you're like you don't want to see them torn apart.
I almost cried when they separated. I was so sad.
It was tough, and I love that scene. Like if he would take his helmet off, I would have been really upset. I love that scene.
You could see him tearing up and everything.
Yeah, and what we also forgot to mention. He's technically the owner of the Black Saber now.
Yeah. So what happens between him and Bo-Katan later?
I think that's going to really...
I think it's going to focus more on Mandalore later.
I do think so. I think next season's going to move or shift towards that. Mm-hmm. I think we'll get, glimpses here or there of Grogu. Maybe we'll even see him as like slightly older at some point. And, he helps him out. Maybe he speaks the next time we see him.
Yeah.
But it's, the sky is really the limit again. They can do so much. I mean, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, I don't even think you can hit it any more out of the park.
I don't have higher enough praise.
It's literal perfection. I mean, this show, I wouldn't, so to say that, you know how I am with like giving perfect scores. Now, I don't think I'd give a perfect score to like any specific episode. I mean, definitely not the high 9s, 9.6s. But I think as a series in general, it's a hard 10.
Yeah.
I mean, this, before
some of its parts,
the disaster that was the Game of Thrones ending, I would say that was the best show I've ever seen on television. That's changed now in this Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And that's like forgetting all the facts that I'm a Star Wars fan. I mean, this is the greatest show I've ever seen in my life.
Seriously.
I mean, I don't think there's any argument there unless you just hate it. I mean,
no, and that's a really great sum up of it, I think.
So before we finish, I wanted to talk about the last thing. So we actually got a post credit? Which they didn't do that last year.
And then I accidentally might put my mouse over the little preview thing for the ending, and I saw there was another scene, and I was like, "Oh crap! Wait, there's something after this."
Well, it was weird because I saw there was like 7 minutes left. I was like, "Well, that's a lot more, than usual."
Yeah.
But I mean. What do you think that means? So tell everybody what it was.
So basically Boba and what's her name? Fennec.
Yeah.
Arrive at Jabba's palace, and you see what's his face? I don't remember his name, but he's all fat on Jabba's throne.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name is.
Jabba's
I feel like the palace looks bigger. I think they might have
Bib Fortuna. Bib Fortuna. Yeah. So he goes and he kills him, and then he takes Jabba's throne, and he's sitting there, and then it cuts and it says the story of the Book of Boba Fett coming December 2021.
So is that going to be an actual book, or are we getting a show?
No, it's going to be a show, definitely.
Okay.
So the thing is, Mandalorian season 3 comes out Christmas, so I could see this being a short miniseries, maybe like 3 episodes. I don't know. It could be longer.
So were you thinking we were going to hear, because I know that they're probably specific about the way they said that, how he told him, like, oh, there's been a lot of stories about, what happened to you. Do you think that's what we're going to get, or do you think we're going to get future stuff?
I think future stuff.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, I'm leaning towards it might actually be how he escaped from the Scar.
Could be. I mean, that would be cool.
How he got to where he was, how he lost his armor, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just every character they've come out with, and this was a confirmation in this episode too that Cara Dune was from Alderaan, right?
Yeah.
Have we got one before that?
No, I don't think so. It was no, we did when she talked to that X-Wing guy, I think.
Oh, okay, that's right.
I think, but yeah, further confirmation. But yeah, this was I was blown away. I couldn't have been happier with this episode.
Yeah, I mean, all these characters. I mean, they could easily do their own shows or in a standalone show. But I mean, I love seeing them together. I hope we see more of all of them together.
I gotta watch the Luke scene again. I really do.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was just so great to see like Luke finally get like a scene like that where he just tears through these. Like,
and I'm glad it was Mark Hamill voicing it. I would have been annoyed if it wasn't.
Oh no, there's no way. If they were gonna do his face, I would have been absolutely, annoyed if it was anyone else. I think the internet, you would have heard storming at your ears even without going on. But yeah, guys, if you haven't watched it and you've watched all this, well,
I don't know why you're doing
but go watch it. Nothing we can say is gonna
even knowing what happens won't spoil the experience. I think it'll still.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go watch it again right now?
I probably will after I finish a little bit more work.
All right. Well, did you have anything else to say on it? Or
no, I'm so excited. This plus the announcements left me so excited for the future of Star Wars again. I was feeling a little after the movies, but now I'm happy.
All right. Well, on that note, this has been a DFTG special report. Please stay tuned for more information. We now return to your regularly scheduled programming.